Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another speed build that's gonna be in the save file. And the family that I created for this home will also be in the save file. They're actually the Yamamoto family, Akane and her husband Hideaki, and they're also actually the parents of one of the main characters in a Let's Play that I had started that I have not continued, but I will continue it. I'm just waiting for, a few more videos to come out. I'm going to be showcasing the world that they're going to be living in, and I didn't want to play in that world until after I showcased the, the world. But anyway, that's for another video, another time. Let's get back to the Yamamoto's house. So I actually this time around I kept the inspirational picture that I found on Google Images. So I will be putting that up probably right about now-ish, hopefully if I remember. But yeah, I feel like it really looks like the home, or at least to me it does. It's kind of hard to make a realistic home look the same in The Sims. Did I say that backwards? I don't know. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. The whole measurement system in The Sims is like completely off from like realistic, like. But anyway, you guys can see right here that I was trying to, I guess, get that bump out look, but I really wanted it to be uniform with the rest of the lots in this neighborhood. And if you haven't been able to tell already, this is the neighborhood that the pancakes live in, and also the speed build that I did last week. You didn't really see the house there because this I actually did before that speed build of that whole house. Like I finished that whole house in one go. But yeah, I just didn't finish this one. So yeah, that's why that one isn't done and this one is getting there. I actually will be putting this speed build up in two parts. One, the first part will be just the outside, the house in its entirety without the furnishings. I did off camera, I believe, do the floor plan. I'm not 100% sure if I added that in or kept that in. I might have taken it out because it took forever to try to get the floor plan the way how I wanted it to be. But yeah, anyway, the house front area isn't going to look like this. So if you're thinking what I was thinking, like I don't like the way how this look at all, don't worry. It's not going to stay like this. And it did take me a little while to try to figure out how I wanted, the front area to look. And I kept looking around. I had to cut it out quite a bit, actually. I kept looking around at the homes around it to try to, make sure that it kind of felt like it fit in with the rest of the homes in the neighborhood. But I really, really love the way how the front porch and then the top deck kind of sits uniform with each other. I really like that. Like, I don't know how I would feel about it in real life, but I really love it. And the top deck will be accessible from, the inside of the house. I will be adding a door. And over here, actually, I'm going to be having a chimney. Apparently, I can't talk. I never can speak properly. But there's going to be a chimney on that other side with two windows on either side, I believe. Not 100% sure right now. But that was the idea behind it. And on that other side, I did a bump out. But yeah, here's the chimney that I was telling you about just not that long ago. But I also really like the coloring, the paneling, what are they called? Siding. I felt like it really looked like the photo that I found on Google Images, and that bump out over there. I'm kind of all over the place, you guys. Sorry, that's just how I build. I get an idea and I go flying to the other side of the building and I'm like, yeah, that needs to go here. And the windows over there aren't going to stay exactly like that. And I believe I'm going to be making this whole area bigger. Well, making the house longer. So the yard will be small. I still think it's a fairly decent size, at least for this family. They're kind of like, I won't say they're entertainers, but they like to be able to look more presentable. They want everything to look perfect, and kind of like how I did their yard area that I'll be getting to later on. I wanted it to look very uniform, but also still fit in with the rest of the world. So I did use some plants out from the rest of the world in their yard. And yeah, this right here is pretty much the layout that I stick with, except for over to the right where that long one tile room is, 1 by 2 or 3 room. And I wanted to use these spindles as archways, and yeah, I pretty much keep that the way how it is, the way how that archway is. And yeah, in this corner I decided to leave that little bump out square area so that way the columns would sit the way how I wanted them to sit, because if I hadn't, they would have just sat diagonally, or that one would. And I'm gonna make that section a little smaller, and sorry about that pause, you guys. I didn't cut that out, but it's okay. You guys can see a little bit behind the scenes. But I'm gonna move that tile over that I was telling you about by that column, and end up putting a stackable washer and dryer there. But yeah, and I also believe that yeah, the roof is going to be changing quite a bit as well. That's why I didn't show you how I roofed the house, because that's going to be changing quite a bit. And yeah, this right here, I moved it over. That's going to be the washer and dryer area. And that little area is going to be a side door, kind of coming off of like not so much as the kitchen area, but I'm going to have a driveway coming through there as well with the fence. Yeah, you'll see it. We'll get to that point. But I love those little details that I had put underneath that overhang. I can't remember what they're called. I know they're not called eaves. I'm not 100% sure. But I also put those columns to kind of separate that area a little bit, and I put it up going up the chimney as well. But yeah, here is where I'm fiddling a little bit with the roof. And when I started fiddling with the roof, then it kind of came to me a little bit what I wanted to do. I bring that front small little room right there up to the, I believe the post, what is it? Basically to be flush with the balcony instead of it having a balcony in front of it, I guess you can say. At least I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. And I struggled like so much with the fence up here, and I'm like, I like the way how I did it on the other house. How did it look? Pretty much exactly how it looked before I messed with it. I'm like, I don't like the fact that when you go into the room or into the roof, if there's a room that's flush with the roof and flush with the fence kind of stops before getting over to the roof. So there's like this space, this gap, and I didn't like it. So I was trying to figure out how I could go around that. And, I don't think I really was able to. So I just kind of gave up on that and kept it pushing. And over here, this is where I start fiddling more with the roof and, trying to figure out how to make it look, I guess, nice and not like, I don't know, like I've never built with roofs before. And for the longest time, I hated working with the roofing system, but after I toyed with it and played around with the roofing system during like this whole rebuilding the Sims 4 base game worlds, I learned a little bit and I kind of actually started enjoying roofing just a little bit. A lot of the times it's still annoying. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same way. And the roof pretty much stays like this. I do believe I move it, make it a little larger and make it more flush. I don't know if you guys are following along. And I add a roof here to kind of, give it a little oomph. And as you can see the front part, that little room area is flush with the actual balcony, and I put a door out to the balcony on the side of that little area. But I really love the way how it came together. And here I'm adding the columns, and I forgot it took me that long to add the extra columns instead of doing it when I first started out. And here I don't keep the terrain paint that's going from the stairs to the sidewalk. I believe I go with a more grayish to kind of match the, what is that called? It's not really asphalt, is it? I think asphalt is more black. But anyway, I wanted to have like a narrow driveway with that little patio area where people park their cars and they have their trash can and stuff. I think you guys probably know what I mean, but that's the type of feel that I wanted this house to have. And I make sure that I use the same mailbox for every house in this neighborhood. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that with every neighborhood I'm going to be building in that has houses, but the ones that I feel that are going to be more uniform with each other, I think I will. But here's the fenced in area, and I pretty much fenced in the whole entire backyard, and just fenced around where the drive port is going to be. And I know we don't have cars, but I'm kind of hoping that one day we will, not hoping, we will have cars. We got to be positive, you guys. You know, I don't believe in that whole uh complaining about what we don't have, because I really do feel like the energies you put out in this world are the energies that you receive. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. I'm not positive all the time. I think that's like literally impossible. And if you are, then all I have to say is props and kudos to you. I try, but it doesn't always end up that way. And right here, you can see I'm doing that little trick where I bring the what is it called? It's not terrain. It's, well, that porch. You know how I just dropped it down? That way I can add the bushes or flowers or whatever foliage or whatever I want to add on the sides of the house, that they won't float. And then once I'm done placing it, the foliage, bushes, flowers, all that good stuff, the plants all around, that's when I raise the deck. That's what it's called, porch deck, back up, so that way that it doesn't float. And right here, I'm adding more bushes and shrubbery all around. And I love this little area in the front with these white flowers. And as you can see on the side, there's the same white flowers. I would think, like, they might have pollinated their yard a little bit or something. And instead of keeping it the way how, it just magically pollinated, maybe they uprooted the plant and put it in the place where they wanted it to go. And that staircase in the back will not stay there. I just didn't want to lose the staircase that I end up liking, so I put it in the back. And right here I'm adding more foliage, bushes. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be adding some more in the backyard. I don't know if I get to that next or if I move on to something else. And I will be dropping this deck again and deleting those fence that I just put up, will put back up again. And right here, I love the way how the back porch end up coming out. And here again, I'm moving away. Like, excuse you, I was talking about the backyard. But the back porch has stairs on either side. So it's almost like a galley back porch or something. And the back porch also has a balcony that I believe I made accessible. I haven't furnished the inside, so if it's not accessible now, it will be. And but I believe it's gonna be connected to Natalie's room, or her old room, because she's technically not living with her parents anymore. She's living with her best friend Roxanne. And yeah, and I added this on the side of some of the corners of the house because I like that trim piece, the way how the siding has that trim piece on the ends. But when you use the siding that comes with it in the game, it seems like it never wants to go where you want it to go. It has a mind of its own. So I prefer just making my own and using the other siding that doesn't have it instead, because then I can put the trim piece wherever I want. And right here, I'm putting more of these bushes, so it's kind of like uniform-ish. I didn't want it to look like a very well manicured backyard, like with the square hedges. I figured, they would have some bushes and some flowers, but they would just keep it trimmed down and not have it growing sporadically or anything like that. And I really like this tree in this corner. I'm like a big fan of putting trees in the corner of a yard and then putting bushes and soil around it. Something else that I like doing in my gameplay, like my private gameplay, next to those trees, I like growing flowers, like the actual flowers that you can grow in the game, and placing that around the tree as well. So that way, it kind of serves as like a purpose, something that my sim can actually do, like go out and water their actual garden, like, around the tree. More realistic gameplay. Like, I remember in The Sims, was it the one or two, where you literally had to like pull weeds in the middle of your grass. And yeah, like why don't we have that? Like why are we going a step back with that? And right here I'm raising up the deck area, the porch foundation. That's what it's called. And yeah, that other time I deleted the steps and I forgot to save them again, but I decided anyway that I was going to change the steps, so it didn't really matter in the end. And there you can see the galley deck in the backyard, and I will be adding some terrain paint. And I also am like a big believer when it comes to terrain paint of adding like dirt or just soil in general, like on the edges of the pathways to kind of make it like, especially if you have like a lot of grass and you want to add terrain, not terrain. What is it called? I just said it. The pathways in like a really big yard. I like adding the dirt around the edges so that way it kind of feels like, there's like a transition between the pathway and the grass. And right here, I'm adding more dirt. Yay, fun. I kind of figured that, this video isn't going to be super long. Well, at least compared to my other videos. I feel like this is pretty short. This is like almost half of what the other episodes, well, half of what the other videos have been on my channel so far. There might have been like a few that were shorter than this or around this area. But, once I get started, I just get really excited and it's hard for me to stop. And then I'm like such a perfectionist when it comes to things. Like, if you guys knew how many times I had to redo a video or deleted a whole build and redo it because I didn't like the way how it looked on video. Yeah, you guys would probably think I'm crazy or something. But, I don't want to share anything that I wouldn't want to watch personally. And I'm not claiming that all my videos are perfect by any means, but, there's a certain point you get to where you're just like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. But, sometimes it takes me a while to get to that point. Sometimes. Only sometimes. And I love this little tree too. I wanted to make sure I had like a small, like, but really bushy tree in the front yard, but I didn't want it to overpower the house too much. And I hope that I didn't by placing this one here, but I really like the way how it looked. It looked like something that Natalie probably would have tried climbing or something when she was younger and her parents would have would have seen her and, yelled at her and made her go in. Oh, I love this little area with the windows going across like the span of most of the wall. And I kept the windows at the bottom, but these top windows I don't keep. I believe I do something similar to the bottom where the windows kind of spanned across. And I love the way how sorry about that. I love the way how it turned out. Yeah, see, here we go. But I love the way how it turns out from the outside, and I like the way how it looks from the inside as well. And yeah, I did make this balcony accessible, and it's kind of funny because I don't know if you guys can notice, but because the platforms were used in the house, the both of the balcony doors, well the balcony and the deck doors are floating a little bit, and I didn't notice that at first. I noticed the top deck door floating while I was, recording this video, but I didn't notice that the back door was floating. So that will, get fixed and everything. I noticed when I end up opening up the game later on. And all I did was raise up the foundation on the porch because I didn't want to change the way how the foundation was on the inside. And I don't know if I showed you guys or not the way how the foundation looked on the inside yet. I don't know if I did the leveling or whatever. And I really love the fact that we got these like outdoor electric box, and I'm not really sure what that other big gray box is, but I know it came in a few packs, but it originally came in the City Living expansion pack, and it feels like, that's something where they would read the meter or something in, and that's the jumper box, not jumper box. The breaker box. This is not a car. It's a house. Gigi. Jeez Louise. But but I love adding. See, you can see the door floating a little bit. But back to what I was saying. I love adding like little details like that because it feels like, the house is more, I guess you can say, it looks more realistic, and I really enjoy a little bit of realism. And I just added some little roof bits and bobs. But all right, you guys, you know what time it is. It's time for the video to come to an end. And I hope you have an awesome, amazing rest of your day or night, depending on wherever you are. And leave a like if you like the video, and share with your friends if you think they'll like it too. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when I upload next. Don't forget to hit that notification bell too. And leave a comment if, you want to tell me what you think about the build. Or, you just want to tell me about your day. That's fine as well. But as long as, you guys are being nice in the comments, I don't mind. But yeah, I'll let you guys go here, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Bye, you guys.